Hey guys, this is Ernest Martinez. For those of you who don't know me, um, I am a public speaker, licensed real estate broker, licensed life insurance broker. So I have multiple licenses, multiple businesses. I've been in business for about 17 years now. So I wanted to go over this story that it's literally happening right now. Okay, and I'm pretty excited for this person. So I've known this friend for about I want to say 12 years. So right now he's in therapy. Okay, so he's been doing that for a bit. He's very good at it. He works over in Norco, and he does that for a living, right? So he does that pretty much full time. So he recently got this opportunity. Okay, so I want to share with you a couple of routes and where he can take this opportunity because he really has a lot to think about because it all depends on what you want to do, how much time you want to put into a business, right? So for him, he's been doing this for a while. He knows the business left and right, and so he has a lot of experience in it. Okay, I want to keep these videos short, so that way there's more content within these, and so I'm just gonna go right into the opportunity with you guys. Okay, so his goal is to not build up a big nest egg, not to build up anything. He wants to have fun and he wants to basically get out of the rat race, right? So he's been thinking about, and we've been talking about him doing contract work. Okay. So getting out of that full time position and doing something, part time, but basically in shorter, like seasonal type of spans. That way he has more flexibility because that's the goal that he wants. He wants to travel much more. And so the money goes a lot further in other countries. So that's what he wants to do, among other things. Okay. So that's pretty much his goal. Now he's single with no kids. Okay. If I was talking to somebody and I ask these questions when I get to know people as far as their business and where they want to go, with him, he doesn't have kids, wife, and so he has a lot of flexibility and he wants to keep that flexibility and freedom. So with him, his main goal again is to travel, right? Now, he recently came in to an opportunity, okay? Now, this opportunity is interesting, okay? And there's a lot that goes into it, okay? So, this is exactly what he told me, okay? He has a friend that he's known for years as well. I think they've known each other for like 20 years, a long time, back from Texas, where they had met. El Paso, Texas, if you wanted to know that. So he became very successful. He has extra money and he wants to do something else, build a business into something else, and invest his money, right? And so he told my friend, you know what? You know everything about this business. You've been doing it for 10 years. What if you opened up a clinic or like a place out here? I already have a lot of connections. We can do this, this, and that. And so he gave him a very good proposal, right? He has the money he would put up. My friend would, he has the license and he would get the other license over there and he can probably do both if he wanted to. But he has the licensing and then he can basically work to get the clientele and then replace himself and start building the business that way, right? And so if he had a place in Texas, he'd be able to do that. Okay. So he was excited. He told me about it. And so for me, I was excited for him. But for me, because this is what I've done for years, I asked him certain questions, right? How fast would you be able to do that over there? How willing are you to quit? Because it's a conflict of interest. You can't do both, right? Plus, you can't be in two places at once, right? So to go, I mean, you'd have to quit here and then drive over there and start doing that. Do you have reserves? And so there's certain questions that people don't think about because you're excited about the opportunity. So it's always good to have a third party to ask these questions for you, right? And so basically, long story short on that, he's excited about it, but and to have a partner where he puts up the money, it's a great opportunity as far as freedom and what he can do out there. But the problem, the downsides is he would have to leave his life out here in California, right? So his life would completely change. So I gave him, after listening to him, because and by the way, the reason I tell you this, because I always give different advice or different routes people can take depending on their situation and also depending on what their goals are. So his goal is freedom. Okay, it's not to make more money, right? He'd rather have less expenses and go to countries that are cheaper. And the things that he does, it's amazing because it takes less money in those countries. So the advice I would give him is different than somebody that has a family, let's say, or somebody that wants to build wealth faster, right? So this is what I told him. Okay, um, I don't know how the conversation got into it, but basically we talked about going remote, doing teletherapy, right? And so that's where he started. If he can build a clientele remotely, over there, and start building the clientele, then it would make sense to open up a clinic over there, right? And so he got excited about that. And so I started asking him more questions about the remote. In business and strategies and all everything that we're talking about, it's all in the questioning, okay? Because the questions pretty much, the right answers will come out of the correct questions, right? And so he was getting more excited about the remote part. Okay. Why was that? He doesn't want to be stuck in a certain location here in California or in Texas because he wants to travel. So I told him, you know what? You can actually scale that. If you want to do that, you already have the clientele. Somebody can take care of it. Now it's creating enough cash flow to have a satellite if you want. But that business, especially teletherapy, it's becoming very, very popular. Okay, and you could do it. He told me he can pay a fee and add it to any state. And so teletherapy, he can go into 50 states if he wanted to, right? So I'm very excited for him because he has an opportunity to, eventually, right, leave his right now his full-time job and have much more flexibility and freedom, which is exactly what he wants by going into teletherapy. And he could probably work for an online teletherapy company or do more of that. But if he were to do it himself as a business owner, entrepreneur, he has a lot of flexibility. And the way this works, and this is with any business, because we can do this in real estate, insurance, all these other types of things, property management. You create a clientele or a portfolio, right? Of certain amount of clientele, however much he can handle, right? And so if he gets, you know, 10, 20, 30 clients and he starts scheduling it out and doing that, then if he wants to replace himself, all he has to do is hire somebody that can do that, shadow a little bit, unless you get somebody with experience, and then you just slowly hand it over. And so that other person is now taking care of all the clients, right? It's almost like selling your book of business. Insurance, that's what we call it. In property management, it's transferring a portfolio to property management. But in his line of work, it's transferring the clients, right, over to somebody else. So he has the ability to scale within remote, and do that two, three, four times. He can create a nice business. Now, for him in his particular position and way of life and what he wants to do, I personally don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he wants to scale. He would much rather have it, very minimal, and for him to be able to do remote work from other countries. Because as long as you have internet, you could do it. It doesn't matter whether you're here or another state. And so I'm very excited for him, and I wanted to share this story with you guys because there's people in these positions, and there's other things that you can do or add on to your business, or there's things that maybe you haven't thought about. So it's always good to sit down with somebody, especially that knows business and scaling and real estate and marketing and all that good stuff. It doesn't matter if it's me or somebody else, just somebody to give you a third party perspective on it. Okay. Well, hopefully you guys like this story. It's literally happening right now, so we'll see what decision he makes. Okay. But I look forward to talking to you guys about other opportunities. Okay. Thank you and have a great rest of your day. Bye.